Hey, what is good, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, it's been a while. I've been quiet. Majority of that is because of university. I haven't really had time to essentially dedicate to my YouTube channel, and because of that, as you guys can see, I'm not sure if you guys can see at what time I'm actually recording this. This is at 1:15 a.m. in the morning, not in the afternoon. So and I have classes later on in the morning as well. So I don't really have time for YouTube, but I would just like to maybe just sacrifice an hour or at least an hour or two, essentially to record this video. And the reason why I'm doing this video is I've decided to basically document my work, right? And I want to do that in a handmade hero type of way, right? If you guys know Casey, I'm pretty sure, if you're old enough, you'll know that Casey was one of the handmade hero guys who basically just started the whole handmade hero movement, whereby you basically build stuff from scratch on your own from the beginning all the way till the end. And essentially, you just do that basically to essentially just do whatever it is that you want to do, right? You don't really rely on third-party libraries or anything like that. So I actually want to do the same thing, and I actually want to make it educational for those people out there as well who actually just want to build their own stuff. So with this series, I'm actually going to put this on its own series because it's actually not part of the actual what the channel is truly about. But then again, the channel is about coding, right? But this one is gonna be special. Okay, it's just gonna be special because it's not really scripted or anything like that. Just going and seeing if anyone finds it valuable. So so enough chatting. So what are we building? Okay, so in this series we're gonna build a game engine. Now, before you start yelling at me and be like, "Oh, you're reinventing the wheel again," how stupid! Hear me out. Okay, I'm not building a fully fleshed out engine, right? I'm building the foundation to an engine to show people just how easy it can be to do so. And essentially, I want this to be sort of like an educational platform. I'm gonna be building the engine initially in Vulkan, and then we then going to switch all the way down to Metal, right? Because I'm on Mac. Okay, so Vulkan runs on Mac, yes, but then I mean, it's just using a translation layer underneath to then translate all the way back to Metal. So you might as well just use Metal. But the thing with Metal is there's not a lot of educational videos out there for Metal, essentially, right? So with this channel, I want to basically be one of those platforms, right? I want to be the go-to place for Metal related content. But I'm going to start off with Vulkan first. So Vulkan and Metal, then this is the channel for you. Okay, so what are we doing? So first and foremost, like any other project, you need some sort of OS layer, right? An operating system layer that will handle all operating systems level related processes and stuff, right? So we need a platform layer, right? That's what we call it, a platform layer. So since I'm on Mac, I'm building a macOS platform layer that's going to be basically interfacing with the macOS operating system to allow us to create a window, process events, handle mouse events, and all of that type of stuff, right? So we're gonna be doing that, and the reason why I'm doing this in Xcode for now is because Xcode has pretty good support for Objective C. Now, if you're on Mac, unfortunately, in order for you to basically use Mac related stuff, you either have to use Swift or Objective C. You can't just straight off use C or C++ on the get, right? Especially when you're dealing with the operating system. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to basically use Objective C to basically interface with C, and then from there on build a wrapper around it to then just use C. Okay, so let's get started, and this is how we're gonna do it. So create a new Xcode project, give it a name. In this case, we're just gonna call it engine platform layer. This is not the final name of the engine itself, it's just the platform layer because we're only gonna be coding the platform layer in Xcode, and then we will move on to Visual Studio Code in a later video once we have the platform layer set up. So yeah, so let's just create next, and then let's just create the project and step it out real quick here. And then let's see if it'll run. I think it might, and it might not run. I might have to select a team, hopefully not. And yeah, it runs without a team. All right, so good. We have a hello world down there at the bottom. So let's get started. So let's create a folder here. So in Xcode, folders are called groups for whatever reason. I don't know, and I do not care. But yeah, so let's just create one, and let's just call this platform. Okay, oh my goodness, platform. All right, there we go, platform. And then we're going to create a new file. Now in Xcode, I actually customized my own file creation. Instead of using the default, I have my own custom C23 custom header files that basically use the pragma header, pragma once macro, right, as opposed to the, if not include wada magic that's going on in the previous versions of C. Yeah, so I'm just going to create a header file here, and I'm going to click on targets engine platform layer just to include it in our project, and then I'm going to save this as the platform.h. Okay, so there we go. So we have platform.h, and then within this, you're gonna have some platform related stuff. Okay, so I'm not sure if I want to call it a platform. I guess we could just call it a platform layer. I was gonna call it an OS layer, but I don't want to be too technical with this. So right, so what should our platform have, and what should it support? So I'm gonna put some comments here. So we should have support for a window, right? And then it should have support for events, right? And these are your mouse, keyboard, events, right? Essentially just input, I guess, right? And then what else? Window, events, and then it should be able to give us a surface to render to. So this will be, in Mac terms, this will be like your CA metal layer, I suppose, right? This is what you will use to interface. This is what you'll use to give Vulkan to essentially be able to render something to. So Vulkan surface, basically. So surface creation, I guess. You can use it for Vulkan surface creation, right? And then, or you can actually just use it for metal, right? So, but we're not going to deal with metal just yet, in a later, after we've done the Vulkan engine itself. And then what else should it be able to do? We want to be able to basically have, we want our window to be somewhat customizable in a sense. So I guess all of that will fall under the window. So we have the window, we have the event, and then we have the surface creation part, right? So let's do that stuff, right? So let's create a type def struct. Now this is still C, so type def struct. And also, just so I can get IntelliSense, I'm gonna come out to my main here, and this is an Xcode thing. I actually kind of hate it. This is why I don't really like Xcode to begin with, but I need it for this instance, just to make things a little bit more streamlined. Okay, so I'm gonna include the platform layer here, and then I'm gonna come back to the header file just so we can get that IntelliSense. And I'm just gonna run this real quick, but before I can do that, let me just say, what do we want to call a window? Because this is educational, I guess we can just call this a graphics window. I mean, I guess that's too long, so we'll just annotate that. We just make it shorter and say G window, right? So this will be a G window. So yeah, okay. So our window will be called a G window, graphics window. Okay, the G stands for graphics. So I'm gonna save this. Obviously it has nothing. Hopefully it might run still, and yes, it does work. Now I only did this so I can just get some IntelliSense working here. Xcode issues, I guess. So yeah, so what should our window have? So our window should have, I guess, an I16. Ooh, now this brings us to another issue. Types. Now, there are two ways that we could do this. So let's just create a new file. I guess it can be a header file. And I'm gonna do this like this. And what do we want to call this? Types definitions. Well, I guess it'll just define some stuff. So I guess we just call it defines.h. Yeah, defines.h. And then in here, we will then include this guy, std int std int.h like this. This will give us these guys, right? The UI int pointers and all of that stuff, right? And again, I don't have IntelliSense once more, so I have to include this in some other file. So I'm going to include this in the platform file. So I'm just going to say defines.h and save that. And when I come back here, it still doesn't work. So let me spell this again. Let's see. Yes, there we go. So now we have these guys, the UI int 16s and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do type def. And I'm going to say UI int 8 is basically going to be a U8. And then I'm going to say a type def UI int 16, and it's going to be a U16 like this. Okay, and then I'm going to say a type def UI int 32, then that's going to be a U32. And then I guess we can do a type def for the U16 as well, UI int 64 I mean. Then that will be a U64. Okay, and I'm not gonna retype all of this, so I'm just gonna put this like this, and then I'm just gonna get rid of the U's here. So multi-line selection, and then I have this, and then I'm just gonna get rid of the U here and replace it with an I, and there we go. And then I guess for the float, right, so we can do type def float, we can say f32. And then for the type def double, I guess we can say f64, something like that, right? So these will be our shorthand versions of our data types here. So let's just save that real quick and come back up here. So I'm gonna do the width to be let's just do I16 here. Oh my goodness. Width like this. If I can just spell width, height, and then the window should have a name, so I'm gonna go with constructor name here, and then with height, and then it should have some type of data or some type of state. So how do I want to do that? Do I want to store that in a void pointer? Actually, you know what? Let's do a type def struct. Let's just forward declare this, I guess. I guess I'll just call this what? Platform state. Platform state. Yeah, I guess we can do internal platform state because it's going to be internal to the operating system. So we're building this in such a way that you can actually build this on any other operating system, but for now it'll only ever just run on macOS, but then you can actually expand on it and make it run on any other thing as well. So yeah, so I'm going to put a struct here, and I'm going to call this internal platform state. Declaration does not declare anything. You don't have to declare anything, Maggie. So struct, and then I'm just gonna put this as a state like this. Type def requires a name. I don't know if I need to type def this. So let's just see. I guess we'll leave it as a struct for now. Yeah, I guess I can do that. And then internal platform state, this will basically just hold platform specific data, right? Yeah. We'll get back to that in a bit. And then what else do we need? So once we have the window, we need to have a way to basically set up the window and initialize our platform layer. So an easy way to do that is to create some functions that would actually help us do that. So I'm going to create a function to basically initialize the platform layer. So I'm going to say platform initialize, and forgive me if I get my spelling incorrectly, and then we're going to do platform shutdown. Shutdown or destroy, doesn't really matter, but yeah. So void, and then this one will be a void, and then obviously bool is an unknown type in C99. And that's another thing that I actually wanted to get out of the way. We are not going to be using what is this, C99. We're going to be using where is this, we're going to be using C23. Okay, so in your Xcode, just go over here where you basically gave your project a name, and then just click on the targets here, and then come all the way to, I guess I'm already there, but you could just say build settings or whatever. And then in here you can just start searching for compiler flags, and then you'll get other C flags here. So just double click on this, underneath this name, double click it until you get something like this, and then just click on the plus sign, and then just do an std, and then just say C to X. On Mac, it just likes it when you put the X instead of the C23. I'm not sure if they fixed it ever since, but just to keep things simple without having to struggle and all of that, I'm just gonna say C to X because I know it just works. Okay, and then you don't have to save anything, it just saves it for you. So then you just come back here and just click save on this file, and boom, now it recognizes that this is a boolean, which does exist in C23, by the way, so you don't have to create your own. So yeah, and another cool thing is that you guys will learn quite a lot in this series, hopefully. So we have the platform initialize function and the platform shutdown function. Okay, so these two will go together. Now let's deal with the window creation stuff. So we're gonna have boolean, I guess, and I'm gonna say platform window window create. So this will create a window for us, and in order for us to create a window, we are going to need the window's dimensions and the window name. So to do that, I'm going to go with an I16 here as well. And I'm going to say width, and then I16 height, and then I'm going to do a const char. Const char. What do I want? Name or title? I guess we can call it a title. This will be the width, height, and the window title. I'm not sure if I want to support window customizations at this level. Yeah, I'm really not sure if I want to do that, really. Do I? I don't know. I really do not know. But you know what? For the sake of educational purposes, let's do that. So let's just do flags, window flags, and we'll do it like this, and then create, and we have to find a way to basically destroy the window itself. So destroy window, and here we're not passing in any others but the window itself. So we're gonna do it like this. So G window like that. We'll see if we need this as pointers or not. Kind of forgot how to do this. It's been a very long time. But yeah, I'm learning, and I'm remembering as I go, right? So we have a way to create a window, we have a way to destroy the window, and we want a way to basically show the window. So essentially just do a couple of void platform window show, and then we want to show the specific window like this, and then we're gonna have a void platform window hide, and then we just basically want to hide that window that we pass in, and then we basically also want to do what, void platform window is full screen. Basically want to check. Now I don't know if I actually need this. Yeah, I think we'll just build the other features as we need them. For now we just need to be able to create the window, show the window, hide the window, or destroy the window, right? Yeah, and this hide one, we don't really need it. But yeah, we don't really need it, so because at this point we're not really gonna be hiding anything. But you know what, let's just leave it there for educational purposes again, like I said. And yeah, so this is it. So we have the platform initialize, shutdown, window create, destroy, show, hide. We need another one function that I actually forgot here, and that would be we return a boolean, and that will just be platform poll events. Now, if you're familiar with OpenGL, you'll know what this function does, right? So it just polls events, just listens for events, right? I'm gonna pass in void here. Might change that, but for now, I guess it's a void. We don't really have to really pass in anything. And then we're gonna do our input handlers, right? So we're gonna do void process input platform process input. Yeah. Okay. Platform process input. I guess process input process key. You're gonna process the key that's being pressed. We're gonna process the mouse button that's being pressed. We're gonna process the mouse move that's basically happening. Okay, and then we're gonna do what else? We're gonna process the key, which will give us whether the key is down or up. Then we're gonna process the mouse button to basically check if the mouse button is clicked or not. And then we're gonna basically process the mouse movement so we can keep track of where the mouse is. Yeah, so I'm not gonna fill out these constructors, these parentheses yet. I'm just gonna put the void in here. And we will do this later on. I'm just sort of like scaffolding the API for our platform layer because they will have some stuff going on here. We haven't really created a input system yet. So for now, they're just there to show that we are going to build one. So what else should we do here? So we have process key, process mouse button, process mouse movement, and then we need the last one, which should then be, I believe it's the process mouse wheel. And we'll add more to this if I forgot something, right? So yeah, so we have the input processing, and then we have the window management. I guess we can just do this input management, even though it's not necessarily management. And then the platform management stuff right here. So yeah, I guess that's fine. Now we can move on to Objective-C stuff. So we need to basically implement these functions. So we're going to do that in Objective-C. Now this header file is in C, but the beauty of Objective-C is it allows you to use other languages, in particular only C and C++ within the same file. So we can create an Objective-C file here. And I'm going to call this platform macOS, right? And I'm just going to say that like this. And then we are going to come back to this header file. Actually, we're just going to have to import it first. So platform.h like this. And then we need to basically stub up all these guys. So I'm going to copy all of this. And I'm going to paste it all in here. And then above this, we are going to, what are we going to do? We are going to create some Objective-C interfaces, right? So interface number one will be to basically have a window delegate. Do I want to, actually let me start with application delegate. So let's do an application delegate. And this should of type ns object, and this should be ns window. Actually, we need some stuff here. So we're gonna need import cacao / cacao like this, and which reminds me that I need to come down to my build phases, my libraries here, and we're gonna include cacao, and then we are going to include foundation. And we are gonna need Quats core like this, and that's about it, right? And then we're just gonna say cacao, and then I'm gonna do import Quats core, and I forgot, yeah, it is Quats core as well. Okay, so cacao, Quats core, foundation, beautiful. So now I can say ns window delegate. Actually, no. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for the application delegate. Yeah, so that's the interface, and we need the implementation. So implementation for this, and I'm just gonna double click, paste, get rid of that class keyword, and then we have it like this. Okay, here I guess we can do an initialize function. Init. I'm not quite sure it's called init. But yeah, okay, we'll do that later. So we have the application delegate. We need another interface here. Interface, and that will be the window delegate, and that will also be an NS object, and then of type window delegate like this, and then it will have its implementation down here. So I'll just copy this, paste, remove this, and there we go. Okay, window delegate, and we need what is called a content view to basically render things to. Right, so this will be our surface to render stuff to, right, from Vulkan or Metal or whatever, right? And that will be an NS object, and NS was it text input? I kind of forgot what this one needed to be, but for now we'll leave it like this, and then we'll do an implementation of the content view. So we're gonna paste this here, and then we're gonna go like this. All right. Right. So this is basically the foundation here. So we have an application delegate, we have a window delegate, and then we have a content view. So now what we need to then do is fill out these guys. So I'm gonna just open these bad boys up and just by default return true on those that return something. Return true, and then let's move on the way to the window creation. Let's also return true here, and let's also return wait. Don't destroy, you don't even need to return anything. So let's go back. Destroy should just be avoid. Yeah, we don't need to return anything. And then for these guys, just open up the bodies right there, and then we do the same for these. So yes sir. Okay, lovely, cool. So now that we have that, I want to do something here, and I want to say G window. I'm gonna call this window like so. Application window delegate content view. Does the content view need to know anything about the window itself? Can't remember how I implemented this. But yeah, can't really remember how I implemented that. But then yeah, I can't remember how I implemented that. And then we're gonna have an instance type init with state, and it's gonna be gwindow. Actually, we don't need that. And then we're gonna call it init state. Sorry about that. And then you'll notice the moment I add this, instance type gwindow. Was it here? Init with state. Oh, should I put it here? Yep. And you'll notice the moment I added this, Xcode gave me IntelliSense telling me that, hey, hold on now, in your implementation, you haven't implemented this function. And if I was using Xcode, or if I was using Visual Studio Code or VS Code, I wouldn't have gotten this notification here, and I would have forgotten about it, or I would have only realized it when I compile and stuff, right? That hey, I don't have the implementation for this method, right? So let's implement that, and let's do it in here, and then let's do 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 do. Let's do self equals to um, was it self init? I really forgot this, and then we need to return something. Self, I guess. Return self. Yeah. And also we can do window equals to init state, something like this, right? Yeah, that's how we do that. And then application delegate. I guess in here we can have application did finish launching. Yeah, there we go. And what I want to do is I just want to do an nslog here, just to see if everything is actually working. Nslog application launched, and we'll keep it like that. And then what else do I want to stub out? Content view. For the content view, we can have content view is that I forgot that it needs to I know it has to do with the text input, but problem is forgot which one exactly in my previous engine that I used, but okay, it's fine. Matter of fact, I actually can just take a look at my own code here real quick just to speed this along. In my own engine, I call this an OS layer. So yeah, so we have the window delegate. I'm interested in the content view. Yes, here it is. NS text input client. So that's that. So where is it? Just stub it out like this, and then you'll notice that we're gonna get a bunch of these. So the beauty of Xcode, it will allow us to basically just fill it out automatically for us. However, there's way too many things that it added that we don't need. Hopefully not. Let's see. It added only the ones that we sort of need. First, distributed. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's fine. So, and let's just return 0 here. Doesn't do anything. Return. I guess we can just say ns rect. Return an ns rect. Let's just do ns rect. Let's just return r uninitialized. Can I do this? I just wonder. Yes, I can. Has marked text return. I don't know if this should be true or false. But I guess we can say false. Did I say false in my engine? Let's see. Just bear with me. Okay, I stubbed that out in a different way, but it's fine. Has my text false, insert text, does nothing, and its range, turn, I guess. Can I do that? Hopefully I can, yeah. I'm just gonna copy this. Set mock text. That does nothing. NS array. NS array valid attributed mock text. Let's just do this. Yeah. Okay. So none of these matter. None of these actually matter. That's why I'm not really explaining anything. Just make sure you just have them. None of them really matter for this video. They just yeah, they just do matter for now. So don't really worry too much about it. And then the attributed string for proposed. I kind of forgot what that one returns. So let's see. Oh yeah, we just return nothing because it's nullable. So return null. Okay, sweet. So we have the weird Objective-C stuff that I don't like. But yeah, right? It's whatever, right? So I'm just gonna try and run this just to see if we have any issues. And so far we don't. Okay, lovely. So far we don't. Alright. And then the content view should have some stuff here in it as well. And I'm gonna take that from my engine simply because I kind of forgot what they were. Like this. Okay. Now that we get, so I don't know if we need that state. So yeah. So we have this, have everything that we sort of kind of need for now at least. And then all we need to do is try and initialize this. So we can do something like ns app shared. Kind of forgot. Was it shared application? It is shared application. Hold on a minute here. Yeah, there you go. NS application. So NS application shared application. Like this, and then we're gonna need an application delegate. I'm trying to remember everything that I need. So app delegate, that's gonna be application delegate allocate, and then initialize that. And this needs to be a pointer. Okay, and then we're gonna need to say ns app. Let's do this. ns app set delegate app delegate, and then I believe ns app finish launching. Yeah, so let's see how good or how much of this we got right. So set delegate finish launching, and we need to run it. So we run it before that. So ns app run, and then we need to set the activation policy. So ns app set activation policy ns activation policy regular. Was it regular though? Yeah, activation policy regular. Yes, sir. All right, so we have this. So let me just see. What else do we need? Yeah, that was about it, really. And then if we don't have this, we can just maybe throw an error, I guess. Right? So app delegate nslog. Let's just print out something. Failed to create application delegate, like that. Okay, lovely. And then we're gonna return false because this returns a boolean because we failed to create, so we have to return something, right? And then here, I guess we're fine. Now, let me try and call this function. I'm gonna try and call this function right here. So platform initialize like so, and then I might as well just call the shutdown right after that, but it won't do anything. So you're not really supposed to see anything really. And surprisingly, we have something in the console which says application launched. So what is going on? And if you look here, there we go. We have our little application in the dock right there, and it's currently called engine platform layer, which is fine. And the reason why we're having this little message down here is because in our application delegate implementation, we basically say that once the application has finished launching, just print out something to the console, just so we know that we are actually working, meaning that this code is valid. Okay, so we create our application delegate, and we basically invoking this function after the application has basically launched, right? And then it calls nslog, which is like, if you are in C, you can just use something like printf, by the way, and then just print out something, right? But because we're in Objective-C land, I'm going to use nslog. You don't have to use nslog. You could still get away with printf because it still works. C does work in Objective-C, so it's up to you how you want to do things. But I would prefer that you just use nslog, especially if you are in the macOS platform layer, because that's the whole point, right? Using the operating system related stuff, right? So yeah, so we have the platform initialization. Next, we need a way to essentially poll events. Now, this is one function that I'm not gonna code, mainly because it just really never changes and it's just the same thing. So I'm just gonna copy from my previous engine, and I'm gonna paste it in here, and that's gonna be it. Okay. Yeah, so poll events essentially just polls the systems for any events, and it handles them as it should be handled. Okay, so we don't really have to do anything in here. That's about it. Okay. So that's that. And then the window creation situation is where things get a little bit more interesting. Now, how long is this video? I don't know how long this video is, but you know what? Let's just try and get a window popping. But before we can get a window popping, there is a few things that we need to do before that, unfortunately. Let me stop running this project real quick. And one of those things are, we need some sort of global state, right? Because if you remember, in our header file, we have this G window situation, right? We have this struct that basically represents a window, right? So represents a window. Okay. Represents a window. Okay, and inside of that window, we have some form of platform specific state. Okay, so we need to handle this situation. So to do that, we created this struct up here, right? So we're gonna implement this bad boy in here in the Objective-C code. So I'm gonna go all the way to the top, and I'm gonna do a top def struct like this, and then I guess we'll do this now. It might cry saying that let's just see if it cries or not. Build succeeded, everything still works. Okay, cool, does not cry. So in here, this is where we want to store our platform specific things. I almost typed things there, but platform specific data, right? So actually it's gonna include some of these things. So we want to do that probably right after all of these implementation stuff. So right before the C stuff. So yeah, right here, right? And this internal platform state is gonna hold a couple of things. Number one of those things is the application delegate. So application delegate. So we're gonna say app delegate, right? And right after this, we're gonna have a not a type def, a static. And I'm just gonna copy this, paste this, and then we're gonna say, I guess we can call this a state pointer, right? Yeah. Internal state. I guess we can just say iState. iState. Just so that we know that we're referring to that. So internal state. Internal state. How do I want to do this? Do I want this to be a how do I want to? Do I really want to allocate and destroy this? Very interesting. Let's leave it like this for now, and we'll see. We'll see what we want to do. All right. So yeah. So yeah, I'm just gonna comment this out just so that you guys can know this is gonna be our global state. Okay. Only one should exist. Ever. So yeah. So what we're gonna do is up here where we're creating this app delegate situation, instead of it being done this way, all we then do is say iState dot app delegate. Nothing changes. Everything still works the same. We're just storing it in a global state so we can keep track of it. Okay. And deallocate it when we need to. So I'm gonna rerun this. Hopefully nothing broke, and there we go. Everything still works as it should work. Okay, so now that we have a global state, this global state needs to hold a window. For now, we're gonna, well, the whole idea of this platform layer is to support multiple windows, but for now we might just have, I guess we can say windows. Yeah. Yeah, I guess we can just say windows. For those who might not find this clear enough, this is an array of windows. I could put a double pointer here, I guess, to make it a little bit more clear that it is an array. So it's fine, I guess. Now, so because of this, I need to initialize that array. So in our initialization code here, if we manage to create the application delegate, then I guess it's fair that we can basically allocate this memory, right? So let's do that. So let's do iState dot windows, and then let's do malloc size of hold on, G window, and we only want to allocate size for one. But let's just do 2 for the sake of it, even though we're only gonna show up only one window for now. But this is just illustrating how you would go about storing multiple windows. Sorry about that. I had a little hiccup. Alloc memory for our windows array / list, or whatever you want to call it. So there we go. Right, so now that we have that memory in shutdown, that's where we want to deallocate all of that. So in shutdown, if let's see, if iState dot windows, then we basically just want to do this free iState dot windows like so. So that will just free out that memory for us, and also what we want to do is to do something like this. So we have to say, I think it was iState dot app delegate release. Now Xcode will cry about this. Yeah, Xcode will definitely cry about this because Xcode already has automatic reference counting mode turned on by default. Now, this is not something we might have when we switch over to to VS Code. So I'm going to disable automatic reference counting in Xcode because it's only Xcode specific. Because once we move away from Xcode, which we will after setting up our platform layer, we won't have that luxury of having that. Although we can enable it, but I don't want it. Okay, so I just want to handle the memory myself. So just search for automatic reference counting, and then just turn this to off. Just say no. Just switch it off all the way to no instead of yes, and that should fix this if you save, and then it should basically take that error away. So we want to essentially release that memory afterwards. So if you run this, it won't be you won't see it happening, but eventually it should sort of like release that memory, right? And then just for safety measures, what we could also do is say istate dot app delegate is equals to 0, just so we know that it doesn't hold anything. Okay, if that fails, I guess, I don't know, but yeah. all right so now that we have the platform shut down, we need a way to poll events. Okay, we are polling events, but we need a way to basically give the application its first event on launch. So all the way back up to the application creation situation, I'm just gonna copy paste just one line of code, or a block of code, which is something that I don't want to code because it's just what it is, right? So just copy this. And then we're gonna paste this up here. I'm gonna get rid of that because the application, we now know that the application is launching. Actually, before I do that, let me not remove it entirely. Let's just put it down here, and then let's build this out. And now you'll notice something different happened here. Okay, if you noticed it, if you didn't notice it, let me comment this code out for a minute and rerun this again. And notice that the application is running, right? And it says application launched, right? And then we have the application in the dock. Okay, I click on it, it's open. We can't see a window because we haven't created a window, right? But it's running. Our application is running, right? But you'll notice that we hanging actually. We're running, yes, but we're not doing anything. We just hanged up. We're really not doing anything. Therefore, we want to do stuff, right? So what we want to do is that we want to essentially just do something, and that something is we're just going to post an empty event. Okay, and the moment we post an empty event, it won't hang. It will post the event, right? And then if there's nothing to handle that event, it'll just move on to the next thing. And in our case, there's nothing but to destroy the window and everything. So it'll basically then hit the function, the function that we just completed down here, whereby we basically just free the memory and then basically set the app delegate to nothing, and then boom, we get out of there, right? So that's what's happening here. You can see that it says hello world, application launched, and then program ended, because we basically hit the platform shutdown, and it just released the app delegate for us, and that's about it. Okay, so but we don't want to do that, right? We want to show a window. So how do we show a window? So what I'm going to do is in my main right here is I gonna have a while loop here, and then within this while loop we're gonna pull. So we're gonna say platform pull events like this, and we need a way to see if the window is open or not, or if the application is running or not. Ooh, yeah, that's another issue that we need to handle. So how are we gonna do that? Very interesting. How are we going to do that? How do I want to do this? We'll do a temporary function here. Yeah, we'll do a temporary function because I don't really want it to be, I don't want it to work in that sense, but yeah. So window should close. Let's see. Window should close. Let's see. Platform window should close. Do we want to pass in the window? Do we want to pass in the window? I guess we don't know, but for now, let's just stub it out real quick. Window create. Where did I put this in? I just want these things to be in order. So polyvents right here. So window should close, and it should return. Hold on, return state, and we need to put in a temporary boolean in here as well. So it should close. Okay, and then return istate dot should close like this. Okay. Yeah. Istate should close. I guess I guess it is false by default, but yeah, it is false by default, but I'll just say this here for the sake of it. Should close. And then when should it close? Then I guess window delegate. I'm not sure if it's here. So window should close. Yes. So window should close. Window should close. I'm just realizing that this shouldn't be here. This should be right after this one right here. So window should close. Return yes. Alright, before we return yes, we need to do some stuff. Damn. Okay. Now, this will require a little bit of moving things around. So I'm going to move this implementation just temporarily as well, just so we can get all of this working. And then in here, we then say istate dot should close equals to true. Okay. Yeah. So should close, yes. And then here it should return whether we should close or not. So if it's true, we should close. So let's say, so if should close, we should kind of hang, and we are hanging. Okay, we are hanging. Sweet stuff. All right, we are hanging. Just to double check that we are hanging because of that, I'm gonna rerun this, and yes, we close if we comment that out, but if I don't comment it out, we are hanging around. We're not just closing immediately, right? So that works. So next, we need to then start showing the window. So to show the window, we basically will create a window here, window. Okay, and right here at the end, we'll basically say istate dot windows. The first window, I guess, for now, will then be that window right there. Assigning G window. Window is uninitialized. So let's initialize this bad boy. I'm gonna set everything to 0 initially, and then from here, on window, we haven't actually done quite a lot yet. So I'm thinking I need to probably I probably need to I probably need to restructure some stuff here. Yeah, I probably need to restructure some stuff because I'm not realizing that I did some stuff in a different way than I should have. But I guess this is an educational channel, so you'll watch me mess up and fix it later on. But in this video, we just want to get the stuff working. So I'm going to do another internal state here, but it's not necessarily, it's what it'll be for the window itself. Interesting. Because out here we have G window, then we have internal platform state. Interesting. So, I guess our internal platform state, okay, no, it's cool, it's cool. Window state. Yeah, alright, yeah, okay, I think I know what to do here. So I'll fix it this way. So internal platform window state, like that. Okay, fine, fair enough. So let's duplicate this actually. Duplicate this. This will remain as is, but then we'll have one for the window. Okay. Hold on. Window, and then this one will just be like this, and then internal platform window state, internal platform window state, and then in here we won't have all of that stuff, right? Wait, what did I just delete? Oh, okay, yeah, fine. And then we're just gonna copy this, paste it here, and then in here it's gonna be window specific data, right? Internal platform window state. Right. So in here we're gonna have like a window delegate. We're gonna window delegate, this delegate. We are going to have a content view. So I'm gonna call this a view, and then we're gonna have a CA metal layer. I'm gonna call this a layer. Sweet stuff. So internal platform window state. Yeah, internal platform window state. And what did I call this? Platform window. So back in here, we'll just rename this to that. Okay, and then in our window creation, we can say window like this slash state equals to malloc size of oh no, how am I misspelling stuff? I must be tired because it's now 2 a.m. but it's okay. We want to do a size of that new struct that we created. So internal platform window state. Okay. Lovely. All right. So now that we have that, all we need to do is essentially say window state dot, hold on, window state dot, we want the window delegate here, and that will be window delegate allocate that memory, and then we're going to initialize with state, and then we're going to pass in the G window itself, which will be the window, and then that will be it. Then we'll do a window state, and then we're going to say view equals to content view, alloc that memory, and then initialize it. Did I just say a init? Wait a minute. How am I initializing this bad boy? Okay. I guess we're not doing much there. We're just initializing it for now. So we have the window delegate, we have the view. We need the window itself, which is something we didn't add in our platform state here. So we're gonna say ns window, and that will be the window like this. Okay, ns window. Well, that's kind of weird. ns window, interesting. So now we're gonna have a weird naming convention here, because it'll be state window. Well, I guess it's fine. Yeah, then we can just say ns window look, and then we need to basically initialize this with a content rect. And then the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move everything to its own line, and therefore we're gonna say no ns backing store buffer, and then the ns rect, that will be positioned at 0, 0 for now, and then the width will be given passed through the initializer there. So we're gonna say width, height, and that's about it. Left upper and camera has no effect. So wait, what? That has no effect? What do you mean it has no effect? Ayo. Oh. I'm so stupid. And let's make I'm such an idiot. You know that, right? Yeah, I'm such an idiot. But yeah, there we go. That's what we were supposed to do. NS window style mask. So NS window style mask titled. I guess we can do titled, closable, and resizable. So titled NS window style mask, closable, NS window style mask, resizable. Now remember I had this up here. We're gonna stub that out too, but I think we'll do that in a later video. For now, we just want to get this window rolling and showing, to say the least, right? And then over here, we're gonna have ourselves some window properties set up. So we're gonna do Objective-C stuff. So it's gonna be window dash state dot, well, not dot, but window. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna say set delegate to be window state window delegate. Okay, then we're gonna do window. Actually, instead of having to retype this whole thing, I'll just copy paste set view content view to be view, like so. Incompatible pointer types to parameter of type ns view content view. Interesting. Content view to ns view content view. Let me see, what did I do in my engine here? Because let me see. It's focused, full screen. Just give me a second here, guys, real quick. View. I want to see how I created the view in this engine. Content view. Initialize that with state. Let me see. How did we? Actually, I now realize that something. Let's see if this might work. content view. I'm gonna remove that for a minute there. Init with state, void pointer. Now, okay, let's do this. G window, and then instead of void here, I'm gonna say G window like this, and then we're gonna say self state. Instead of state, we say window, and it like that. Yeah, right? Yeah, let me just put this like this. It's fine, I guess. Init with state, G window. Alright, lovely. And then up here, instead of just simply allocating this, we can say init with state, and I'm gonna pass in that window. Okay. However, we still have this issue here though. What do we have here? Content view. How come? Let me see. Content view. OSX content view. Oh, you know what I did wrong? Yeah, I got used to using the NS object guy here. This should be NS view. However, technically, it can still be an NS object, but for the sake of this, we basically fixed that issue right there. Okay, then what we want to do is say state dash window set title. This will be from the title that we passed through when we call this function to create the window, which is right here. Okay, so set title. And then we need to basically show this window. So let's see. Make key and order front no. Right. So I guess. So let's see. Initialize platform. Create window. So let's create one that is like 600 by 480. And that should be like a window, and then flags, nothing right now. So hopefully we did everything right, and we didn't. So let's see. Internal platform window state. Bad access. Why is it bad access though? Don't you already, like, I feel like this does automatically include malloc for us. So maybe it still will give me that issue though. Because I do know that it does give us malloc for free, but aside of internal platform window state. What is this? Internal platform window state. Let's see. Alright, you know what? I don't have time, so turn that to a void pointer. What is going on? Like, honestly speaking, whoa. Have I really not been on this for so long that I forgot how these things work? Windows state. Um, Hold on. But then I don't wanna. Oh boy. See, this is annoying. This is really annoying. Um, yeah, this is so damn annoying. Let me see something. This is so annoying. Uh, uh, this is so annoying, guys. Oh boy. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So I must have forgotten some stuff. I guess I haven't written C in a while. So let me just fix this by just putting this back to void. And it's gonna create some very ugly stuff because now it means that I have to cast everything again. Um, so inference base type void is not a structure or union. Um, I have to do something like this. Expected identifier. No. Like so, yeah. I'm not gonna have to resort to this ugly mess. Right? Yeah. Wow, this sucks. But before that, let's see if we still crash though, right? Because what's the point of fixing that and then we crash in it and we still do. So why is the memory not allocated though? Oh, you know what's up? I'm such a douchebag. Yeah, I am such a douchebag. So let's just put this back. It will actually work. You know what's wrong? Yeah, yeah. You know what's wrong? It's because I've used Java. Like, okay, in uni we use Java. So, in Java, we don't necessarily allocate memory. So this is what I was doing here, right? I assumed that the memory is already allocated, hence I set it all everything to 0. But because it's a pointer, I have to allocate memory for that too. This sucks. So yeah, this really sucks. So this is gonna be G window, and I bet you that this was the problem. Um, yeah. Would you look at that, ladies and gentlemen? We have a window. My goodness, we have a window, and just to make things a little bit fun, this might break, but let's just test it though. This might really break, but let's see if we can have two windows, and we do. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, we have two windows showing up on the screen here. That is pretty sweet. That is really cool. So our engine supports two windows, and that's about it. But however, if you close one of them, it closes the entire application, which is fine for now, because we only ever should only really have one window for now. So multiple windows does work. Somewhat works, right? But yeah, so that's essentially what I'm gonna end this. Um, Let me see. Let me just do this real quick here. Yeah, let me just do this, and let me just see something real quick. I just wanna test something. Yeah, I was right. So yeah, and then here we can just call that platform window show, and we just pass in the window that we want to show, and it should show the window. Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Um, And then another thing is we probably but it's fine. Let's leave it. But you know what? Yeah, you know what? By default, we'll just show the window, right? We'll just show the window by default. However, we do want to make this configurable. So to do make configurable. Yay. Okay, so we have a window, and we can move it around. We can resize it. We can make it small. I noticed that we don't have a window styling for minimizable. So I guess we can just add it here. So ns window. Oh my goodness, what am I typing at? Window style miniaturizable. There we go. And when I do that, it should then give us that option to do this. And that works. It works. It works. All right, cool. However, something that's still bugging me is this flag. So, to basically get rid of that thing that bothers me, I'm just gonna do it. So I'm gonna do a tab def, and that's gonna be G window flags. Window flags. Do I want to call it G window? G window style flags. I guess something like that, right? Okay. Then we're gonna do an enum. And then this enum is gonna be of type integers as well. That's a new feature of C23, by the way. You don't have to do that, but I just like to do things this way. So what do we want to do? I think. Wait a minute. Can I just do this? Just hold on. Can I double click on this and see what these are? Ooh, yeah. Actually, I want to copy this. So I'm gonna copy all of this. This is the handmade. This is how you do things, right? Just copy paste. However, I'm gonna replace all the NS stuff with G window. Right, so G window style mask borderless. And this is how we're gonna do stuff, right? So G window mask textured background API deprecated. Window style should no longer be used. So this is deprecated. So I'm gonna remove that deprecated stuff. API available, mask full screen. Let's just get rid of these API stuff. We don't need those because we are running the latest Mac, so we don't really need to check any of that. And I think these will all work. These are just bits, flag bits, so that's fine. Yeah. Okay. So integer, because this is an integer, right? So then int flags. Essentially, you will just say G window style flags, right? G window style flags. G window style flags. And then back in here, oopsie, just say G window style flags, like so. And we can basically replace all of this by saying flags. Right? Yeah, do we have like a default? No, we don't have a default. So I guess I guess we'll create one. G window style default. I'll set that to be 15. G window style default. Yeah, I'll set that to be 15. And then we just say G window style default. And then it should still work. Yeah. Yeah, the default flag is just from memory. I remember that when I did this on my own the other time. When you add the default stuff that you wanted, like for example the title, the closable, the miniaturizable, the resizable, all of that juicy stuff, it adds up to 15. So those bit flags add up to 15. So that's just a handy thing to remember there. So now that we have this, we can basically just customize our window however we want. So I can have a window that has the default styling, then we can have a window that has like borderless, for example. And then if I run this, you'll notice that we have a window that has the border, and then we have one that's borderless, right? See that? So yeah, that's just how that works. So yeah, so we have the custom styling working now, so we can customize our windows however we want. So yeah, however we can make this look pretty, we will definitely implement some form of code styling using Clang format. But that's gonna happen when we move all the way to VS Code, which we will, because we're almost there, right? We just need to set up a few of these and a few of these. But because I've been at this for quite some time now, I'm kind of tired. So if you guys appreciate what I've done in this video, and if you guys enjoyed just writing code with me and figuring things out, do hit that subscribe button, because it definitely does help me gain that momentum, and to essentially grow the channel as well, and to help other people who are interested in these type of stuff. So I'm gonna stop it here. I really don't know how long the video is, because I don't have any formal way to see this, but I do know it was around 1 a.m. something when I started, so I pretty much am sure it's probably maybe 2 hours or an hour, I guess, but whatever. Yeah, so I'll see you guys on the next video. Now on the next video, because we now have a window showing, what we will then do is we will just clean up some stuff that we did here, because some stuff that we did in here particularly are kind of all over the place, and you might not notice it, but it is. And I just want to clean it up just a little bit more, yeah, so that it just looks a little bit nicer. So in the next video, we'll finish up the platform layer, and then from there we'll then move on to Visual Studio Code, whereby we'll migrate this to a Visual Studio project, and then we'll start making use of makefiles and show you guys how to basically build this from scratch, without having to rely on an IDE like Xcode. So yeah, cheers.